Did make it. Good for him. Hi. I'm about to start class, buddy.
David,
Billy,
got you.
you did it.
I did it.
I'm impressed.
Me too.
As you
I
should
have
be.
a pencil and a paper. I have a pencil and paper here to write down your address so I could send you some money, but I see that you reneged. You
Yes,
tried ahead of time to get us to come
I
across
I
with the money.
I goofed. It's tomorrow morning that needs to pay, not you guys.
Oh, it's our other group.
It's a different class, yeah.
Okay. How are you doing?
How am I doing?
You, yeah, you look good.
I'm, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Well, figure out how to sex. I'm doing actually starting to feel better after 2 weeks. Um, we've been walking every day, and but my shape is still incorrect. I have too much belly and too large left foot. So although I am very gradually losing weight. I don't know what's going on. I
Huh.
still think I have too much fluid, but other than that, we've
Well,
been walking. It's a start. And yesterday I started exercising, and it's as close as I've come to dying in a long time. I can't. I couldn't believe the
now.
pain. Oh
uh,
well, yeah.
well, Dave is not with us today.
No, he's still in Spain.
Yes. Have you seen seen him on Facebook?
No, I don't do Facebook.
Oh, you know.
No. What is he over there?
Well, actually, um, the the woman he's been seeing, Jean, um, her husband died. I think it's 3 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and she is taking his ashes to his family in Portugal.
Um, why is he in Spain then?
I just think it's well, maybe it's in Spain. Maybe I've got it wrong.
I wonder if they realize they're in the wrong country.
I'm sure she
They
knows where
do.
they're going.
Yeah.
I I'm not. My memory of conversations is not always accurate.
Oh my. That does sound familiar.
Yeah. So anyway, they're over. That's why they're over there, and I think they're having a little vacation too. But they're visiting his family and spreading his ashes over there.
Good.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
nice thing to do.
Now, before we get started, I have a question. Hang on.
Yeah.
One of my sons is in AFib, and he does take it seriously now. And he, uh, oh my. And so I asked him what kind of meds he was taking, and he said he was taking metoprolol. Metoprolol? Does that ring a bell? What you take something for AFib, don't you?
Yeah, I take dofetilide.
Um,
You want me to spell it?
yes.
D
Yeah.
Ofetide.
Docetylide.
Yep.
Docetylide. Docetylide. Yeah. Okay.
It's a Pfizer drug, fairly new.
Okay. And that works well.
Yes, its only real drawback is that it is a little hard on kidneys.
Yeah. A lot of them are.
Yeah. So
Okay. Okay. Because he also takes Sotalol, Sotalol. It sounds like it's to keep his heart in rhythm.
that's what dofetilide does.
Okay. All right.
Um, is he seeing a electrophysiologist?
No, I believe he's seeing a cardiologist. Um, he keeps getting shocked um, well, keeps getting. I believe it's the third time he's been shocked. I
Uh-oh.
do. Go ahead. Um, I know from when I had it that um, every time subsequent time I got shocked, it was between, the period between was less and less. I got a year and then 6 months and then 3 months. And then,
Yeah.
so that's when I went on whatever the hell.
Your drug.
You want me to spell that?
No, I have enough trouble with my own.
I went on warfare.
Oh,
You know, I don't know if I'm in AFib or not. I must be. Gosh,
well, usually you can tell.
I missed it.
Oh, I said
We
usually you
had a
can tell,
blip here.
but
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
not necessarily. Although recently they did one EKG on me and said I was back in AFib, and they did another one a week later and said, no, I wasn't in AFib.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm kind of surprised that I don't know. I guess I'll have to find out
Yeah.
when I get back. I'll find out because holy moly, oh boy. Anyway, okay, enough of that.
All right.
Okay,
I'll sound the sound.
okay.
So, what would you like to work on today?
Well, I have a question.
Okay.
Of course, I've become intrigued with the, you know, moving the arms out and in with the elbows.
Hmm.
And I know I want to connect to what the scapula.
Yes. You know, another thought I had, because I looked at that last
And,
video
and
with you. Um,
uh,
and one of the things to think about in terms of opening up the energy flow is to think about um, the middle finger extending out and then feeling the elbow extending. So you're actually lengthening through the whole arm. Because if you don't get that connection, then you don't move the energy very deeply. You're just doing it very much on the surface, and that you don't get a whole lot of feel of that.
I do get some feeling, but not a lot. When you said about that, using the middle finger.
So one of the things with that is, let me just turn sideways a second here. Um, if you just in thinking about how much you're moving the arm, so you can let the arm come in, bend in quite a ways if the elbow goes out at the same time. Um, or comes in. If you're pushing the scapula in, you may want that elbow to come in, but then let it go out when you go out. So there is a movement laterally of the elbow in that when you're here, it's out, and when it comes in, you're moving in. So just for this exercise, and in order to get that sense, get that feeling of the energy, you have to, I don't know how much you remember about lengthening in and lengthening out, but lengthening is a release, and it's allowing all the joints to open, to extend out. And then if they extend out, they automatically lengthen in. But that's the hard part for us is that our tendency is, when we want to think about lengthening, we try to stretch, and that just gets in the way. So it really is a matter of releasing, of allowing the arm to lengthen, actually to the whole body to lengthen.
For some reason, I'm hung up on what's going on with my back at during this.
Uh-huh.
Is
So you do want to feel that as you go out, that the scapula are moving away from the spine.
okay. Okay.
And then as you come back, that the scapula are moving in towards the spine. Now, how much that is, um, by the time you reach our age, the scapula are often very tight. And so the movement may be very small, or it may be larger. I mean, it depends um, how much tightness you have around your scapula. It's one of those areas that a massage therapist can spend a lot of time on.
Yeah. Hmm.
Did that help at all?
Yeah, yeah, it does. I do. I can feel something
Yeah.
moving. Yeah. There's times that I'm astounded at how much I can feel. Um, and I think some of it might have to do with the energy that's in the room because when in your basement, uh, it doesn't take much for me to start feeling,
Mm,
whatever.
yeah. Well, I have to say that um, this our property does have just initially just had very good energy when we moved here, when we built the house, um, and and particularly the school is built over the strongest single energy area on our property.
Huh,
Um,
that's neat. Yeah.
but the energy is good here um, in the house too. Um, it's really interesting when you are aware of that. There's another spot. Um, Actually, I don't know if you remember when we were building the school and we had a tent out in the backyard to do classes.
No, I don't
You
remember
may
that.
not have been here then. That's another spot where the energy is pretty high. Um, so it's interesting, um,
Yeah.
and I think it does help to be in an area where the energy is good.
Hmm.
Doesn't hurt.
No, no, it doesn't. No, no, as soon as I uh, stop and even bringing my hands up, I can start to feel it.
Yeah.
That's anyway.
So
Okay. So what do I want to work on?
yeah, that was my question.
Yes, is it still your question?
Yes, although we can just work through things and see what happens. I'm not. I just was
Yeah,
offering that since you're having a private lesson today. Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I don't know. I think because I have fallen so far behind that what really interests me is trying because even when we first started this class and that came up, um, moving the able to do that. And
uh,
I
you're
don't know, I feel like I missed some groundwork.
okay. I missed the core of that. Your sound was kind of funny there.
Yeah, I know that happens with you too. It could be our age.
Well, it could. What was it
Um,
felt you had missed?
yeah, I feel like I wasn't able to make the energy move back then. you know,
Hmm.
I say when we first started out, I don't know, maybe it was a year ago. But, you know, we were moving the energy up and down through the body.
Yeah.
And I remember getting stuck at the neck and, you know, et cetera. And I felt like I was left out of that. I wasn't getting any feeling out of it.
Hmm. So when that's one of the things about just the basic dynamic sphere is you can work with that just in terms of moving the energy from the earth to the heavens, back to the earth, back to heaven, back to earth again. And just
Okay, that,
and
yeah,
the,
that,
yep.
okay.
And the nice thing about that is that you're haven't introduced yet the complications that come into the single arm and the double arm. Um, so it's and that's only, of course, I'm sure I've said this before, but that's only one of several circuits of energy that are flowing simultaneously in the body, and so we can only focus on one at a time. Um, Particularly in the early stages of our training. Um, so it's perfectly appropriate to stick with one, at least for a while, and then work with another one if you choose. But um, I think it's really helpful, to do that, to be aware of
Yeah,
it.
I missed all of that, David. It was all jumbled. I
Oh,
think it's our connection.
yeah, I think it must be. Um, no, what I said was to uh, as we always talk about it's good to stay focused on just one flow at a time and not get
Yeah,
too complicated all at once. You've got to really feel
okay,
one before you go to the next one.
yes, that makes sense. Yeah.
And
Oh,
so so
so using it, I know, you know, bringing it out, that bringing the arm, it goes out, it comes in.
so yeah, you can when you get into that, you can simply try to be aware of connecting down to the earth, feeling the energy beneath your feet, and then feeling how you're pulling it up the body, and then pushing it down the body. So, really opening to feeling it rising up as far as it can, and then coming back down again. And it just continues right on, rising up, sinking through the body, and then coming up, so feeling it in the feet, coming up, ideally crown of the head, back down, and up. Of course, this is working with the macrocosmic circuit, so the energy comes up the inside of the leg, up the back to the crown of the head, comes down the front of the torso, around the quad, and down the outside of the leg to the feet, and then comes back up again. So extending out as you rise, bending as you come in and down, extending out and up, and bending as you come down. So extending legs, arms, torso, bending arms, torso, and legs. Twisting outward, twisting inward, twisting outward, twisting in. Trying to keep that twisting going continuously. Just as we want the bending and extending to be continuous. And so on.
Yeah.
So does that make sense to
I
you?
think that it does. Um,
And
I
the
wish I
thing
had.
is that that's exactly what's going on in everything else that we do. It gets more complex when we get to the form
Right.
and the single arm practice. I've been thinking recently that despite the fact that Master Joe always taught the single arm practice before the double arm, that I think they ought to be reversed. I think you should do the double arm first because it really is easier. It has some blips along the way, but basically it is much easier to move both arms
Yeah.
in the same basic way than when you get into the double arm, which is preparing you for the form where each arm is doing something different much of the time.
Yeah. I I even remember years and years ago when I think it was Madeline was in a class that I was in, and we were doing the single arm, and Madeline had was able to do the double arm. Um, so she was off on in the corner somewhere doing the double arm. The rest of us were doing the single arm. But as time went on with that, and we did get a taste of the double arm, um, it, if I remember right, it kind of flowed easier.
Yep,
Yeah, it it came pretty easy. Yeah.
yep. It is
Well,
for the most part easier. Yes, it does have its personality, uh, but yep. And with the double arm, you are you are doing the same thing energetically with both arms, which which
mm,
in the single arm you or the form you're not.
okay.
So we've worked through some of that, but blah blah. Um, so do you want to look at the double arm or look at the single arm? Are there things in the form you'd like to look at? What would be most helpful?
Um, well, I guess it would be. I mean, let's see, how many times have we done the form? Maybe a million. Um,
Several thousand anyway, but
there's still a little. There are parts I I don't have down.
oh, and which part is that?
Um, well, I think it's right after shoulder stroke,
Okay,
where
where we go into needle at sea bottom.
yeah. Um, well, there, I don't know. Let's try it
Yeah.
and see if I have enough room here. Well, I can get through part of it anyway.
Okay.
Uh, unless I wait a minute. Let me move where I am.
Okay.
Try this.
Let me know when you're set.
I think I'm set.
Okay. So begin Taiji. So spiral down into the left, stepping out with the right, coming into center, shift and turn left, stepping forward with the right, and rising into ward off right. Rotate and shift back, and rotate left, roll back, turn, pushing downward, step, shifting and press forward, reset the right, step with the left and rotate right to shoulder, shift forward, forming the sword fingers in the left, rotating forward, connecting to the wrist, rising, allow the foot to reset, and pull down through needle at C bottom. Rising to base level, step to the left corner, shift to shoulder, continue on to the left, rotate through and step forward, rotate and shift to single whip, split.
Okay. My big problem is when we go out um, with both hands and the elbows are out and in and out and in.
Oh, push
Yes.
downward.
Yes. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, that's a. So we complete rollback, and you're gonna when you turn to the right
Yeah.
to turn that right foot on the heel
Yeah.
to the corner, your elbows are pushing in.
Okay.
So here they have come in some because they've gone out here and then in to complete rollback, and they come in even further, condensing further. And then as you go through that undercurve here,
Yeah.
elbows go out as you push downward with the back of the hands, and then they come in as they begin to rotate the palms inward. And as you complete the rise, your elbows go out again, pushing downward with the palms. So it's a really a pretty tricky move because a lot's going on in a short time.
Right.
So you're rotating, bending in, bending out, bending in, bending out.
All right. Do that again.
Do you want me to come closer to the camera
Um, yeah, a little bit. Good.
so you can see me better there?
Yeah.
So You've been in partway here. You're turning, bend in, bend out, bend in, bend out.
All right, let's keep doing that.
Okay.
It's not quite natural.
Um, it takes some practice.
I was afraid of that.
So so you can get into it, go back to ward off right where you extended and bent out.
Okay.
And now you're going to rotate and shift back, and you're actually continuing to extend out.
Yeah.
And now you're beginning to bend in, turning the leg, you bend in further, sinking, push downward, elbows go out, coming through, coming in, and then out again. Palms down.
Gosh, I'm not getting that. What the? Try it again, please.
So, trying to think of way. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me turn so that when I turn to the corner, I'm facing directly towards the camera. So you're bending in, out, in, out. Do you see
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I do. Okay.
It's uh,
I I just have to get that sequence. Okay.
yeah. Well, it's a little it's a little strange. You're turning, bending in, push down, draw in, push down.
Okay. Now, when are you turning uh, from palms up to palms down?
You mean
I mean, when you come, when you first initiate it, your palms are coming up and your elbows are moving in.
so here the elbows are coming in and
Yep.
the palms are facing upward. You're right.
Okay.
And then as they push down, they're starting to rotate out.
Okay.
And then as you draw in again, they continue rotating out.
Okay.
And as you rise and push downward with the palms, they continue turning to palms down.
All right. I got it.
So it's a tricky move.
Yes.
And it's kind of important. I don't know if I exaggerate this. I'm trying to turn it to the side here. Um, Notice that I am beginning to sink here, and I sink further, and then I rise and rise. So I'm going through a curve like this
All right. The whole time.
the whole time, and and the one of the reasons for that is it gives you more distance to do this. If you try to
Ah,
if you try to do it going straight, there's no time.
right. Exactly. Yes.
But if you give yourself the sinking and the rising, then you've got that time.
Okay.
So maybe do it once and let me see.
Um, well, let me start from the beginning.
Yeah, that's fine. Uh-huh. So I think what I would say is keep the rotation going in the arms. Don't let it. Don't, you had a pause, and that pause put you behind.
Okay. All right.
So it that that's part of this is that it has to just keep going. It goes in, out, not in, out.
Okay. Yeah.
If you understand what I'm.
Yes, I do. All right. Let's see.
That was better.
Yeah.
This is a very tough movement.
I use up I
Yeah.
use up my curve too
Yep.
quick.
Yeah. You have to try to slow the curve down a bit in order to get it all in there. I think
Okay.
Master Joe wanted us to recognize that we don't have to push downward with the palms of our hands, that we can also do it with the backs of our arms and hands.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
All right. That's good. That's good. I understand it. All I got to do is work on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Yeah. I think that's the worst part. Of course, always at the end, um, you know, I always kind of, for some odd reason, I have a mental block the last couple of moves
mm,
at the very end.
well, needle is not easy, and the split,
Yeah.
single whip, all of a sudden the arm movement is very reduced. Um, but actually, this form that Master Joe's developed here is it's all pretty condensed. Um, but this single whip is the single whip from the Wu style, not the Yang.
I don't seem to have set in my mind
So
what single whip is.
okay, let me all right, let me demonstrate the two and then um, say a little more about it.
Okay.
Uh, so in the Yang style, we frequently go into single whip from having done push to the side, and we come back and turn and step actually to the rear corner, and then we extend and rotate and end up in single whip, where it's pretty clear that we're pulling with the right arm and striking with the left. It probably wouldn't be totally this distance. It might be here that you're doing it, but this is the posture. You're here. In um, um, the Wu style, it comes out of you often comes out of a movement to the corner, and so we have a step. We come in, we go out, which is reminiscent of the yang. We reset, and then we separate. So here the similarities are that you're weighted on the left foot rather you're not I'm not center weighted, I'm weighted on the left foot. The right actually would be pulling back and the left would be striking. It's doing the same thing, it's just a much smaller form, and maybe sometimes more realistic in terms of application, but it doesn't look like this,
No.
but it's the same thing. And that's what we come to in this eight gate form. We're actually coming to single whip, but we're doing it on the right foot rather than the left until we do the other side, until we reverse it.
Right.
So it it's it's meant to be the same um, single whip, but um, it's a separating posture. This is the energy of lié split, and so you're moving apart. It could be a lot of different things, um, but often it is a matter of one arm getting the other one out of the way so you can strike in terms of application. I don't know if that helps, but
Well, if I wasn't confused before, I am now.
really, oh
Well,
dear, that wasn't what I meant to happen.
it, No wonder I have trouble pinning it down. It the, whatever the forward foot is, um, that is the striking arm, and the other arm is the pulling arm.
Pulling or pushing down could be, it can be doing a lot of things, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that was good, David. I it it confirms that single whip doesn't look the same all the time.
No, and that's true of a lot of postures, actually.
Oh, for crying out loud. When did all of this happen?
Well, most of it was in the 19th century,
Oh,
historically.
me, oh my. Okay.
So, you, you indicated you were having an issue with pull down needle at sea bottom.
No, I that one seems okay. Um,
Okay,
uh,
then.
physically, I know what I'm doing with that
Uh huh. Okay. So then, elbow and single whip.
one. Yeah, that actually the worst, of course, was the push down,
Yeah.
the push. All right, and the other is what elbow?
Yeah.
What?
The elbow strike.
I have that. Um,
Oh, okay.
we worked on that a lot at one point,
Yeah.
and um, I figured I have that down pretty well.
Yeah.
Um, that I'm not pushing with the right hand on the left fist. It's just coming together,
Right.
uh,
We're actually
and
sending energy in.
that's what I meant to say, David. Sending energy.
I knew it was.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that one there, that was tricky, but yeah, that I have okay. Yeah, I think the big one is well, of course, the single whip at the end.
So,
Uh,
so the big thing about that is certainly the movement of the arms, but it's really the movement of the body that's important there, and which is always true. But
yeah,
the thing is to you need to remember back to the 8 count walk. 7 is a rotate and shift forward, and 8 is just continue the rotation forward. And that's
yeah.
exactly what's happening with the movement there.
Uh,
So um, if I were to illustrate that, um, probably easiest to see from the side, actually. So if we've gone into elbow, we shift onto that left foot, we rotate in and a little bit to the right and place an empty step, okay? This foot has no weight yet. And then as you begin this, you're going to rotate and rotate halfway forward, but shift all the way forward, knee over the ankle. And then you complete it with rotating forward. So that's the same thing we did in the 8 count walk when we got to 6, 7, 8. It's the same uh,
Yeah.
movement there.
Okay.
So if you're here and you get to here, it's an empty step, then this is just separating halfway and then the rest of the way. Because in this case, it's done as an equal separation forward.
Okay.
So if I were to turn this to face you, so if we've done elbow, we shift on to that left foot, we rotate through and step, then we rotate and shift and just rotate to complete. And then we,
Yeah.
what?
Yes. Good.
And then we rotate shifting back. And when we get to 60%, we rotate left, and then we're ready to begin again. Boom.
Got it.
Good.
Uh, uh, David, I must say you look really good today.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Thank you.
Do you feel good?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm still dealing with the loss of my son, but
Yep.
um, I am in therapy now, so that's helping.
Yeah, I uh, believe it or not, the last acupuncture session I had, I mentioned it to Martha,
Oh,
and
oh, you saw Martha? Yeah.
yeah, and she has a real good friend that she's has been in her practice there for I don't know 30, 40 years, and she's a therapist, and she's 80 years old,
Uh huh.
and I had an initial get to know each other session to see if she would consider continuing with me or recommend someone else.
Uh huh.
And when we get back from Maine, I'll start with her.
Oh,
Um,
good.
yeah, one of the things that is really interesting is her husband is an engineer.
Uh huh. Oh.
And
Common
wow,
knowledge.
she was right on top of me. Yeah, I thought it was very interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
her insight was really good.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Great.
yep, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
So, did you get hit by the hurricane at all?
Um, yeah, we had some breezes and some of the leaves fell down, but in general, uh, it was pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
not too much. We did have some rain, but we've had some rain ever since we've been here.
Yeah.
We seem to where we are seems to like the rain, and so it just keeps coming.
I see. Well, um, leads to indoor games.
Yes, it does. And you know, the other thing which we're very intrigued with is that we have a lot of mushrooms
Uh-huh.
along the side of the fire road that we walk.
Yep.
And of course, the rain brings them out.
Yep.
And wow, we see some really great colors. And so that's kind of neat. I marvel at how those delicate mushrooms get through that hard packed soil
Yeah.
on the side of the road. It's
Nature
it's
is
amazing.
constantly amazing.
Yes, it is. All right, David, I'm going to have to say goodbye. I continue into my third month with diarrhea,
Ah,
and it's calling.
God, I'm sorry to hear
So
that.
thank you. This was
Thank you.
marvelous.
Say hi to Jane.
I
Jean.
will.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.